Let's start over. Can you hear me now? I hit the button. Oh well, technical difficulties while I still figure all this out. Welcome and happy Friday. Is everyone excited for a 3-day weekend? I know I am. I'm ready to rest and relax and remember what this weekend is all about. When you hop in, tell me where you're watching from. Make sure you share this to your pages. If you have any crafty friends, tag them in the comments. All that kind of stuff. Mash that heart button, hit that share button, send me all over Facebook. So we're gonna, last night I used this Lemon Grove transfer. We're actually gonna use it again, but we're not gonna use the whole thing. I'm gonna put it on this board and base. It's a 5x7 surface. The cool thing with the board and base is that you can go landscape like this, or you can take it out and you can do portrait, and you can even flip it around and do the other side. And I even like to chalk on the base sometimes. So I'm going to go ahead and get started. If you have any questions, just pop them into the comments. So Chalk Couture, they are reusable silk screen transfers. They come on this backer sheet. They have a screen inside of there where those negative spaces are. That's where a screen is. They're reusable about 8 to 10 times, depending on how you take care of them. As you can see, they do stain a little bit from some of the chalk paste and the ink, but they still work just fine as long as you clean out those silk screen portions. I'm going to lay the backer aside because I don't need it right now. So we're going to just use this where troubles melt like lemon drops. And then I'm going to add the rainbow onto this tag. And actually, before I get started, I'm going to wax my tag. Because this tag is just a plain wooden surface, I don't want my transfer to peel up some of that paint that I just put down. So I'm going to use some of the Chalk Couture surface wax, and it's just a finishing wax. So I'm just going to rub it on. Just to make sure that my transfer doesn't stick and pull all of that paint up and or some of those wood fibers. So I don't want those on the back of my transfer. So I'm just going to buff this in. Make sure it's all good and smooth. Okay, so I'm just going to let that dry a little bit while we chalk the rest of this, while we chalk the other part. Okay, so I'm going to move my rainbow transfer to the side, and then I'm going to pull this one back off. Since I used this last night, and I'm using a boutique board from Chalk Couture, I'm not going to fuzz it tonight like I did last night. Normally when you're using a transfer, you want to put it on a towel to remove some of the fuzz, but I'm not going to do that this evening. One thing with these board and bases, you lose about a 1/4 of an inch because of the stand, so you just want to make sure. I usually put it in the stand to get it placed so I know that I'm not dropping it too far down. That's pretty good. So I'm just going to rub it in so I know I have a good seal where I want to chalk. And because I'm pretty messy, I'm going to use this placement tape. It's very similar to like washi tape if you've ever used that. I'm just going to tape off the bottom portion of this grove because I will inevitably go above there with my chalk paste. And even though I can wipe it off on this transfer, it's just less cleanup. Okay. So I'm going to use my white paste. I'm going to stir it up a little bit. Mine is kind of separated a bit. And you want your paste to be kind of a yogurt or sour cream consistency. Let's grab squeegee. So I'm just going to dip my squeegee in the paste, and it's just like frosting a cake or buttering a piece of toast. Now I can take that out. Okay, so I'm just going to take my chalk paste, and I'm just going to wipe it on the silk screen where I want it, making sure to cover all the areas. And then I'm just going to wipe off all the excess. Get rid of all those little lines that I've created. And then I'm going to wipe the excess back into the jar. And then I'm just going to pull my transfer off. There you go. So I'm just going to I have a little tub of water over here. I'm just going to let my transfer sit for a little bit and hang out. You don't want to let them soak too long, but I like to let them soak just a little bit so that my paste doesn't stain as bad. Set that aside. Set that up there. Get my little tag out and my rainbows. So this is a C-size transfer. It's 12 by 18, but we're just going to use the rainbow portion. So we're going to do a little bit of transfer layering this evening. And you can't see it on the camera, but there's small numbers in the corner. So this one is 1. This one is layer 2. This one's layer 3, and this one's layer 4. And you can see these little marks in the corners. Those are the registration marks. And so when I lay this first one down, I'll make sure to chalk those registration marks. That way, when I line up the next ones, I'll be able to line them up correctly. And it works on this chalkboard surface because actually it won't work. We'll have to do a little bit of maneuvering on this. I forgot we're doing it on this tag. So what I'm going to do is use my transfer tape underneath the registration marks so that when we're all done, I can peel the tape off and it won't leave my registration marks. It'll come off of this surface, but registration marks won't come off of wood or any fabric surface. see where I need to be. Oops, I didn't get that even. I can just barely see the surface beneath this transfer. Oops. Okay. So what I'm going to do is tear off a few pieces of this placement tape. Actually, we'll only be able to use this registration mark. This one is hanging off the edge. Okay. We'll use some detail tools. So I'm going to start with red. And it probably needs some distilled water. This is candy apple red. And I do have a cart link for all of the supplies that I've used for this project in the description of the videos. So if you're wanting to buy the kit, it is linked as the cart link. So all you'd have to do is click that link and it goes to my chalk site and everything is automatically loaded into your cart. And you can add or subtract whatever you want or don't want. So this one's a little thick. Not too bad though. I'll try it and see what happens. So I'm just going to take this multi-tool. And I'm going to chalk my registration mark right there. And we'll just do some red. Got way too much. But the nice thing is I can put all that back in my jar. Okay. So we're done with the red. I'll just stick those right there. I'm just going to peel up gently so I don't peel up that tape. So there's red. Okay, so let's dry that one. So next we're going to use Bumblebee. And let's get the next rainbow. So then we'll use layer 2. I'm going to fuzz this one a little bit, just slightly, just so it doesn't peel up any of my tag. Okay, so I'm going to try to line up the, oh boy. And I'm going to try not to push too hard up above the silk screen because I don't want my transfer to stick to that red layer of the rainbow. But I do want this to seal. Okay. Give my yellow a stir. What's everyone's plans for the weekend? Going out of town, staying in town, taking a vacation? Amanda, you're not doing anything? Sometimes those are the best weekends. We're going to go up to Topeka tomorrow. My father-in-law and my husband are going to go up. We're going to decorate my mother-in-law's gravesite. Sunday is also her birthday. So a lot of remembering to do this weekend. I'm also going to do a lot of crafting and a lot of resting. I've got stuff I've got to get rid of. Okay, so then we're going to do green. I'm trying to think. Roy G. Biv. Yep, green is next. So this is, I have emerald, but I've linked meadow in the cart link, and it's very similar in color. I have so many colors from when I first started in June of 2018 that I haven't bought a lot of the new colors yet. I got to use up some of these first. Oops. Okay, so there's green. Let's grab layer number 3. Okay, let's see if we can get that lined up. Oops, let's fuzz that. I can tell it's peeling off little bits of my paint, but that just gives it the vintage look. Very similar to when you caramelize onions versus burning them. So we'll just pretend that I was going for the vintage look. Okay, got that. Okay. Let's get another detail tool. Hey, Amanda, have you ever known Kansas to be 60 degrees on Memorial Day weekend? It's beautiful outside, but I have never known it to be this chilly on Memorial Day weekend. It's crazy. I'll take it, but it's crazy. Okay, let's blow dry that. Hi, Oliver. Hi, Oliver. Hey, Thea. How are you guys this evening? And I have Cadet here, but I think it's out of stock right now. But I think I linked Colonial Blue. It's a lighter shade, kind of a periwinkle blue. This has a lot of air in it. You'll notice I've had to stir a lot of mine. They have reformulated the paste in the past. It would get kind of chunky or it would dry up if you didn't use it for a while. But they have reformulated it so that it's not supposed to dry as fast, especially when you're working with the silk screen transfers. It's supposed to stay wetter longer, so I'm excited I need to get to chalking so I can use up some of these paste colors and get the new formulas. Okay, so let's line this last layer up. Sure I can still see it. Okay, last layer. Hey, check this out, Amanda. I can put your comment up, and then Oliver and Thea can see their name. Ta-da! Now I can take off this piece of tape that had my registration mark. Okay, I'm going to see. Because I've peeled off, I don't know if you can see some of the paint that's peeled off in the middle. I'm just going to go ahead and sand around the edges just to kind of make it look a little more purposeful. And it'll show some of that white that was underneath. And I just saved my nail files from my nail appointments. Or I just buy nail files. They're really easy to use. I like them better than those blocks. See, and you can get some of those edges. It makes it look a little more intentional. Okay, so we're going to put our sign back in. And I forgot so we're just I'm going to use all of this baker's twine, and we're just going to tie that to there. I forgot my glue dots, but maybe we'll just try to make this work this way. So I have all the colors of my rainbow layers plus black and white. And I have to say, I can't take credit for this idea. I saw another designer do it. But they did theirs on the 5x7 palette board that is white. But I wanted to do it on, I just love these board and bases. I wanted to use the board and base. Okay, so let's see if I can get all this actually. I think. Oops, you probably can't see it down there. So I'm just going to tie that as tight as I can get it. Oops. Okay. That's okay. It looks like I've let's get another piece of black because I ran out. Let's see if I can get this through there. Hey, Jennifer. How are you? see if I've got a yellow baker's twine is stuck. Okay, so now let's see if we can make a loopy bow. Find my ends. Oops. We were just talking about the weather. I was asking Amanda, Jennifer, you can chime in. Have you ever known it to be 60 degrees on Memorial Day weekend in Kansas? It's crazy, but it is beautiful outside. Okay, let's see if this will work. I'm thinking I want to go build a fire pit when we're done with this. Roast some s'mores. Okay. So I meant to grab my glue dots and I forgot. So let's kind of do it the cheapskate way. See if Scotch tape will work. And then I'll glue dot it when I'm done. Let's see. Let's put some tape under here. I don't know if the tape's going to stick. So normally I would glue dot that or even hot glue it, but there you go. So it's kind of somewhere over the rainbow where troubles melt like lemon drops. There you go. So, I was going to show you real quick how I clean my transfers. So I'll just leave that there. I didn't do that the night before, or 2 nights ago when I went live. But so I have a little tub of water right here. I'm going to get a towel. And I'm going to grab a board eraser and get it kind of wet. Sorry, my water's a little dirty. So I said at the beginning, these are reusable transfers. And as long as you take care of them, you can get them as long as you get them really clean, they'll last a long time. So as I'm soaking this, a lot of the paste has come off. So I just used my board eraser on the top side. And then I'll get a wipe from my stash over here. And I just use either a Clorox or a Lysol wipe, and that helps to get some of the fuzz off of the back. And then I just lay them sticky side up to dry for about 20 minutes, sometimes a week, depending on if I forget about them or not. Pretty easy. Let's move these over. Let's get this big one out and see. I didn't wash it immediately after I used it Wednesday night, and so it did stain a little bit, but that's okay. It still works great. It looks well loved. And then I was going to show you one more thing. It's going to show you the magic of Couture. So if you use Couture on a Couture surface like a chalkboard, or if you use it on glass, or even sometimes metal, although sometimes on metal it'll stain just because of the high pigments. But usually on glass or chalkboards, like if you mess up, or say I want to change this out later, take the tag off, and redo the base part of it, all I have to do is just use something wet, and the chalk paste comes right off. So it dries semi-permanent. It is water soluble with water, and so then I can just let that dry, and it becomes a brand new surface to chalk on. So like if I totally messed up on this board and base, I could have just wiped it off, or wiped up the area that I messed up on, and I could have just re-chalked it. I know I was using these the other night to clean my paintbrushes when I was painting some door hangers. Sometimes I even use it to clean my hands. It works really well. So yeah, so now I have a brand new surface to chalk on. So yeah. So again, here's our finished project. I'm sure it'll probably be at CJ's maybe tomorrow or even next week. I love these, as I said before, because you can do the front side and the back side. And I've even chalked the base before. It looks great with like a mini buffalo plaid. That's one of my favorite surfaces to use. I don't use it enough. So does anyone have any questions? Like I said, I put the cart link in the description of the video. If no one has any questions, I'm going to sign off for the evening, and I'll probably go live again sometime this weekend. I know I'm not great at it, but it sure is a great way to knock out projects, and I get to hang out with you peeps. So I hope everyone has a great weekend. I hope everyone enjoys their 3-day weekend. Stay safe. As I used to sign off I can remember signing yearbooks when I was in middle school and high school, and I always would say, stay neat and stay sweet. So have a great evening.